Everybody is installing cameras now, security cameras. It's a big deal. But what about a camera to watch the birds? Like to watch them come and feed and just nibble at the bird feeder. Well, Wild Bird and Nature Store has those. Yeah. They can set you up with a camera with the bird feeder in your backyard, front yard, whatever yard you want, and you can watch them come right up to the cameras. It's pretty fascinating. They look like the classic bird feeders, but then they have the camera inside. And yeah, I guess you could use it for security reasons as well to see if somebody other than birds is lurking around your place. The Wild Bird and Nature Store has all of that, plus the largest bird seed, the largest collection of bird seed you can find anywhere. Bird feeders, baths, houses, lots of outdoor nature gifts such as chimes and whirly birds and wind ornaments and all of that stuff. Stop by for a visit, 901 Lehman Avenue here in Bowling Green. They're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4. And then on Saturdays, when you're off work, 10 to 3. So you can go over there and pick out like some of the stuff you're seeing right here. Ornaments for your yard, bird feeders, and those new cameras. They've got it all. Wild Bird and Nature Store. Let's bring nature a little closer. Good evening, everybody. It is a Thursday, what I like to call Little Friday. It is June the 19th, and I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Man, let me just say that last night turned out to be a pretty incredible night. Even though we didn't have tornadoes or anything like that, we had a lot of wind damage and a lot of power outages. I was really just taken aback by how extensive some of the damage was and the extent of the power outages. It was rough. It was really rough. It was rough for about 5 minutes at my house out in Plano, but then it was just your ordinary thunder and lightning and wind after that. But some of you just got a real pounding uh, last night when those storms came through. Thankfully, it wasn't anything worse than that, but that was kind of rough. But things have quieted down now, big time. Today, we've started out with clouds, but this is the way it looks now from the Plano Cam here at 6:52 p.m. on your Thursday evening. Beautiful sunshine here before sunset. Puffy fair weather clouds. There were a few showers that popped up this afternoon as the cold front made its way through, and that front is now why we are seeing clearing and we see a little bit of a breeze. You see the crepe myrtle outside my window is kind of blowing in that breeze. It's actually pretty nice. It's not quite as muggy as it has been, and that little bit of a wind just makes it even better. And it's going to be a pleasant night, and it's been a fairly pleasant day today. The high officially 84, 4 degrees cooler than normal. The normal has now jumped to 88. The low 69, and at the airport, 0.08 of an inch of rainfall for the 24-hour period. A lot of that, of course, counting for last night. But man, is it nice out there? I may just Look at that. I may just go out and just sit on the back patio for a little bit. It is that nice. All right. Well, let's go to the maps and all of that. Let me see if I can. Let's do this. I wanted to see damage reports. I may call that up here shortly because it does look like, um, at least to the National Weather Service, there were several places where uh, damage was reported. But let's see. Let's just take a look. First of all, at radar, and I'll show you some of the rain that is pulling out of the area. And there you see it. Back it up here about an hour ago or so. And you can see that there is that little, you can see the line just east and southeast of Bowling Green. That's the cold front as it's pushing its way through. And there it is right now. Now I put it into future radar, and you can see that all of that is going to continue to move off to the south and east. That's the cold front passing through and bringing us the much better weather. And now we can actually begin to talk about rain free days. There's going to be several rain free days. In fact, the next 4 or 5 days in a row are going to be rain free, but it's going to be hot and it's going to be muggy. Get ready because it's coming. The first real heat of the summer, and it will be summer around 9:42 tomorrow night. That's when summer officially begins. It's coming. So spring says goodbye and all the wet weather. Uh, so yeah, here we go. Here's a look at Kentucky Mesonet temperatures as of 6:56 p.m. Everybody's looking at some pleasant 70s and around 80 here in Bowling Green. Rainfall amounts past 24 hours. There were a couple of hot spots like Greene County and Greensburg. 2.77 inches of rain. That's over 2 3/4 inches. And then you've got Hart County near Munfordville, 1.5+ inches. You've got Taylor County, 1.35. Then Adair County, Columbia, 1.64. You've got 1.33 inches in Metcalfe County near Edmonton, 1.5 inches down in Monroe County, Tville. Here in Bowling Green, it was more around a 1/2 inch for the 24-hour period. Almost an inch in Morgantown, almost 1.5 inches in Russellville. And then you see some other locations just, it was hit and miss where the best setup for the rain actually occurred. Winds right now are coming out of the northwest. That's because the cold front has just passed through. The wind's pointing southward, so that means the winds are coming from the north and west. But notice as you go east, the winds go west and then they go southwest. That's because the cold front is right in here from Greene County to Metcalfe County to Monroe County. The cold front is right in there. I can tell just by the way the arrows move. There is a bit of a breeze at times, but it's a nice breeze now at about 10 to 15. And behind the front, there's even a little less dew point and mugginess and humidity. You see ahead of the front, dew points are in the 70s, well into the 70s. But back west of the front, we're starting to see dew points dropping into the 60s. And that means eventually things are going to start to feel just a little bit better, just a little bit better than they have the last few days. But that's not going to last long because we're going to heat up pretty quickly after this. And rain, rain is gone. There's no more rain to talk about for, 5 days or more in a row. So there's your front passing through right now, as I mentioned. There it is, right along the Cumberland Plateau, taking the rain with it. There could be some patchy fog tonight. Here we go, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Fog, eastern Kentucky, middle Tennessee, and yeah, we could have some around here in the 270. A beautiful day tomorrow, sunny, warm, highs in the upper 80s. Here we go into Friday evening, a nice evening, lows near 70. We get into Saturday morning, not bad, but then the heat really starts to crank up. I think Saturday, Sunday, both. You'll see the numbers here shortly. Here is Saturday evening. Here is Sunday. Here is Monday. Here is Tuesday. Oh, yes. But we don't see any rain anywhere close to us until about Tuesday. And that's west of us. Now, Wednesday, I think we will either Tuesday or Wednesday begin to see daytime, afternoon pop up showers and thunderstorms. And these would be the isolated kind with that you get typically in the summer. You get the sunshine during the day, it's warm, hot, even a little muggy. Late in the day, the clouds begin to build up and tower up, and then somebody gets a thunderstorm. But then once we get past sunset, they fade away. Any storm that's out there fades away. That's what we're going to see in the middle of next week. There's Wednesday, there's Thursday. Even though it didn't load in, we'll have that daily chance of a late afternoon or evening thunderstorm. Pretty typical stuff for summer around here, anyway. Here's a look at the blender numbers. And as you can see, lots and lots of 90s. Upper 80s tomorrow, then low to mid 90s each and every day for the rest of the weekend and in and through next week. I really don't see any big change. There's upper 80s, low 90s. Yeah. So get ready for the 90s. It's coming. We hit 90 officially yesterday for the first time this year, but that won't be the last time. We're definitely going to hit some 90s next week for sure. Here is a look at the 7-day forecast. And as you can see, 89, 88, 89 tomorrow. And then we've got the thermometers going boom, 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 boom. 92, 93, 95, 95. Heat index, as it says here, near or above 100. And even look at the lows, low to mid 70s, even at night. Then maybe Tuesday we'll have to add in a late day shower, but certainly Wednesday and Thursday next week we'll get a late day shower popping up in the afternoon. Somebody, not everybody, but somebody will get one of those showers and storms. Again, pretty typical stuff for this time of the year. Now, there is one thing to consider, and I noticed this looking at the models and reading the discussion from the National Weather Service. We have had such a rainy, damp spring. And because of that, all the greenery is very lush and very green and really beautiful. It's nice to see that. So that alone could have an effect on how hot it gets next week. Even though we're calling for mid 90s, it may not be the kind of mid 90s that's just scorching hot. um, down near the surface because of the trees and the grass and all the beautiful flowers and all of that is moisture laden, and the ground is even moisture laden. I mean, it's going to take a while to dry out the ground around us. Um, so it may not, some of those numbers may be a little overdone. And certainly, maybe the heat index projections may be a little overdone as well. We'll see. I mean, I do think we're going to hit 90s for sure, but mid 90s, we'll see how the wet ground and the damp, lush vegetation and all of that plays into exactly how warm it gets next week. Just something to think about. Okay. All right. That'll do it. Short and sweet. I like it like this. Just in and out pretty quickly with the forecast. You guys have a great Thursday evening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, you'll see me. Tune in to News 40 Sunrise at 6 a.m. on NBC and CBS 40 because local matters. Thank you for watching 270 Weather. Have a great evening